Hi, this is Preetha, and today I am going to talk about how to design a relational data model for a matrimonial application like Bharat Matrimony or Shadi.com. So, first of all, let me be very clear. I'm not associated with any of these companies like matrimonial companies like Shadi.com or BharatMatrimony.com. So, I'm not exactly sure which particular database they are using and what is their exact data model, but this data model will satisfy most of the all of the common functional needs of a matrimonial system. So you can use this particular data model if you are trying to build up your new matrimonial site application, or if you want work for any of the matrimonial sites and you want to get some improvement, or you want to change something, you need a reference. And this will be very helpful if you are preparing for data modeling interview. So let's get started. So before creating a data model, you need to understand what is the functionality of that particular system for which you are building the data model. Also, you need to understand which are the key players of that particular system. So for a matrimonial site, if you go to a matrimonial site like www.shadi.com, they will first ask you login or register. Okay. Now, if you are a first time user, you have to click on registration. Then you have to fill a form where you will mention all of your details, and they will ask you to provide select an username, and you have to select a password also and submit. Once you do that, your profile is created. You will give the email, you will get a mail confirmation over your email also, and then they will ask you to upload your photo, update your preferences. So photos, preferences, those are not the the mandatory part of registration. Rather, they are for your profile, and you will do that after your registration. So here you will have a user profile or a user account where your registration details or basic details will be there, and also username, password will be there. For profile picture, I'm taking it as a separate entity. You can have one account with profile picture there itself, but I will tell you why I'm taking this as a separate entity. For one particular user profile, there is one user ID. If you log into shadi.com, you will get a unique ID called SH, then some number. Similarly, for Bharat Matrimony, BM some number, you will get like that. Okay, so but for one particular user can upload multiple pictures. Okay, there is no restriction on that. So that is a one-to-many relationship between a user profile and profile pictures. So that is the reason I'm taking it as a separate entity. Also, I'm going to put pictures as a blob object here. And also there are two ways to keep pictures or images or videos in a relational system. Either you can use the blob object data type, or a blob data type, or you can give a particular path where you are storing that particular image. Okay, so like that you can do. And then preference. Now every user is having a preference, like which gender they are interested in, which age, height, which age group, height, nationality, job. Then there is a preference text where you will write your mind in words that what kind of life partner you want. So, and there can be, for one particular user, there can be multiple preferences. Okay. So, and here for preference, I am talking about one particular set of preference, which will have a preference ID. That also, per one user, there can be multiple preferences. Now, one second. Then if you open up some profile in a matrimony, there might be several fake users who might be disturbing you, or you want to block someone, you can have a block list. So for each user there can be multiple blocked IDs. Okay, so there are also two ways. You can keep the user ID and blocked user ID, and for one particular user profile there can be multiple records. I mean, because one person can block multiple people. Also you can have that one user ID, and the blocked IDs will be stored in a concatenated way by a delimiter. I will show you that how it will look like. But first, let us list out all other key players. Okay, now after that, we will have another key player called match. Okay, so when one particular user sends someone interest, another user ID. So one is a sender or initiator, another person is receiver, and that receiver is accepting that particular interest, then that is a match. It will have a match ID. Okay, it will have a match ID, it will have the initiator ID, it will have a reference ID, sorry, receiver ID, and which date, on which date they matched, like that. Okay, now there is a subscription model. So all of these companies charge you if you want to see the matches, their numbers, all of these things, if you are taking the assisted services and all. So there is a subscription model, and they have their standard subscriptions, subscription models, where there is a particular subscription name, validity, price, and one particular user can avail multiple subscription. Also, one subscription can be availed by multiple users. Again, then comes another key player is feedback. They will ask you for feedback. So one particular user can give multiple feedbacks, but one feedback is given by one user only. Okay, then comes, okay, so now comes success stories. This is the last part. Once your marriage is fixed and done, then two people, then you go and write the success story. So the success story will have a story ID, it will have bride's user ID, it will have groom's user ID, and then the marriage date, these things it will have. And once some brides and grooms IDs are there in the success stories, what happens is this application owners delete their profile from the user profile. Okay, and similarly, if some user profile has given some preference list, and some another user profile is also having some similar preference, some some AI codes are there which matches the preferences, then only it will show you the recommendation. Okay, so here I have actually created the data model. So I will just, if something needs to be explained, I will just explain in the Excel, because this is Verbaletto. I have created using Verbaletto, and that UI is not very user friendly, at least for me. Yeah. So see, there is a user account where user ID is the primary key. Then it is having password, email ID, gender, date of birth, first name, last name, and all other details, basic details or registration level details. Then for one user account, I have profile photos. So there is a photo ID, there is a photo which is the blob object, photo type, whether it is candid or formal or selfie or groupie, whatever. And the user ID will work as a foreign key here. So for one particular user ID, there can be multiple photos because foreign key can be repeated. Similarly, for one particular user account, there is a blocked profile list. So the user ID is there, which is working as a foreign key, and the block, which particular users it is blocking, that will come under blocked user ID. And for one particular user ID, there can be multiple records, because if the person has blocked 5 other person, then for that particular person 5 records will come. Now it can be done using some other way also, which I have also shown you in the social media example. Like you can make it like this also, block list. So suppose B01, the person B101 has blocked, suppose B102. Okay, so first it will come. Then again, some B101 has blocked another person called B103. So in our current model, it will come like this. but you can make it in a different way also. What you can do is you can write a procedure where this particular user id, whenever it will block some more people or unblock someone, there will be a procedure which will take these two ids as input, and it will write an update query for that particular user id. It will update the block list and append the newly blocked person, okay, with a delimiter. So here I am using pipeline delimiter, so we can concat using a delimiter in sql. So in the stored procedure we have to do it like that, so that next time if I want to see which is the block list for this particular user id, I will retrieve this list and then I will segregate it on the basis of this delimiter using some string function. So in both of the way we can store. Now there is a preference list. So there for so now gender, age, height, job, nationality, mother tongue. So combining all of these things, there is a preference list, a preference id is there, and the user id is also there, which is working as a foreign key. And one user can have multiple preference. So suppose you have a preference, like if you want to marry an Indian citizen, you want to marry who is by who is having age group by 35. But if you are going for a American citizen, you want to, you have a relaxation, like you can marry till 40, age 40. So there are, for one particular user there can be multiple preferences and multiple preference id. So one user can have multiple preferences, so but one preference id is tagged to one particular user id only. So it is one to many relationship between user account and preferences. And see the cardinality symbol, one preference id can be tagged to one user account. So this side, in user side it is one, and in preference side it is many. And when you are first opening the file, you have not updated your preference, then you don't have a preference, you just created your profile, right? So you cannot have any preference also. So that is the reason why this symbol is there, this zero symbol. Similarly, you may not upload any photos, so and you may upload multiple photos, so this symbol is there. Similarly, you may block multiple people, you may not block any person, so this symbol is there. Okay. Now for feedback, one user can give multiple feedback, but one particular feedback can be given by one user only. So here also it is one to many relationship. Similarly, for a success story, so bride ID is also an user ID, groom ID is also an user ID, and here it is one-to-one relationship, considering the fact that one bride is having one particular ID on user profile only, and one groom is also having one particular user account only. Considering the fact that same people are not opening multiple accounts. Okay, so now coming to feedback. So feedback I already told. Now coming to match, same here, two user IDs are here, one is initiator ID and one is receiver ID. So here, when a particular initiator sends an interest and the receiver is accepting the interest, then it will come under a match. Okay, now one particular user can initiate multiple interests. So you opened a profile, you can send interest to 10 people at 10 people, no matter. So but one so that can happen. Also you can get multiple interests. Okay, but when you are accepting something, so that particular match between you and one particular user, that is a unique thing, that particular match, and that is having a match ID. Okay, so that is the reason for this initiator side it is one to many, but here it is one. Okay, so now here consider for a particular match ID, the combination of initiator ID and receiver ID is unique. One initiator can initiate multiple interest. Also, one receiver can get multiple interest. So, okay, but whenever I am accepting some XYZ interest, so that particular match is happening. So that has a match ID. Now coming to subscription. Now subscription is having a subscription ID, subscription name like Super Saver, Big Deal, Diwali offer, like there are several names. There is a validity period, like whether it is for 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, or until you get married, like that. There is a standard price for it. Now, one user can have multiple subscription, and one particular subscription can be availed. One particular subscription model can be availed by multiple users. So there is a many to many relationship between user account and the subscription, and that can be resolved by introducing an associative entity in between. So here this associative entity will have the keys of both sides, that is the user ID, the subscription ID, also the user discount. So if you are a loyalty customer or something, they can give you a special discount that is related to this. So they can tell you that, okay, if you take this particular subscription model, then you will get this much discount. If the another person takes this particular subscription model, they will get a different user discount. Similar things can happen. So this particular user discount is dependent on both user ID and subscription ID. This is a special discount. So this is particularly dependent on this association. So that is the reason this discount will be here in this associative entity and not in the subscription entity. Then subscribed on and the expiry date. So see, this user account, subscribed on, and expiry date all are dependent on both of the thing, user ID and subscription ID. That means these are dependent on the association of these two entities. And when we resolve the many to many relationship, so both side it is one to many relationship. Like one user can avail multiple user subscription. Similarly, one subscription can be availed by multiple users. So this side it is many. So I hope I'm clear. So if you have any doubt, you can comment that. If you have any suggestion, you can comment that also. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, subscribe my YouTube channel. And also I provide data modeling training and data engineering interview preparation training. So if you want to avail those training, please send me your email IDs in the comment section. I will reach out to you. You can also send me that you are interested and you need to know the details in my mail ID, that is tina@gmail.com. Thank you.